Hello, I'm James George, and welcome to the best places to live and visit in the USA. This is a great new show where we get a different real estate agent on every week to talk about where are the best places to live in the USA. So this week we have Cassidy Olson on the show. Hello, Cassidy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
Doing good, staying busy.
Good. So you live in Jacksonville, Oregon. So first of all, I want to hear a little bit about yourself and then tell us a little bit about where you live.
Yes, so I've actually lived in Oregon my whole life. I was born in Grants Pass, which is about 45 minutes from Jacksonville, so I stayed pretty close. I always joked about moving when I was younger, but then I realized how much I took for granted living in Oregon and how much I love it. So I decided to stay here, have my own business in Southern Oregon. I live in Jacksonville, but I'm all over Southern Oregon. I still do business in Grants Pass, Medford, Ashland, Talent, so kind of all over the place.
And what makes Southern Oregon and Jacksonville and the whole area, what makes it so great to live? Why did it keep you there?
I'm an avid outdoors person. I love being out in the country. My favorite place to be is on the lake, and so I have about 6 or 7 lakes within 45 minutes of where I live. And so I'm always out in the summer wakeboarding, kayaking, that type of thing. We have lots of hiking trails. We have lots of rivers, really nice swimming holes. We have a lot of fun, like we have the Applegate Valley, where it's lots of wineries you can go tour in the summer and springtime, and it's just such a beautiful area. It's hard to want to leave.
From what I can tell, it's very green.
It is.
Yeah. So does that mean you get a lot of rain?
We do, not as much as like northern Oregon as like down in or up in Portland area. We do get quite a bit of rain. The last few days have definitely been just a torrential downpour, but today is actually sunny. So for
Because that's one of the things coming from England. One of the reasons I moved to Southern California was because I wanted to get away from the rain. But at the same time, I do miss how green England is. And I remember when I went up to Washington, we went around Seattle, and I was like, oh, I actually miss grass. We don't. The grass here is so weird. It's just not like English grass. So I'm gonna have to come up and see what it's like. I've heard there's some great golf in Oregon as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful up here. I mean, I hate winter. I hate the rain too, but it's nice to have our 4 seasons. And in the summertime and the springtime, it's so nice. And you have the change of season, so it's always nice.
And tell me about the Brit Music Festival. I see the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. What's going on with those? Because they seem to be very popular.
Yeah, so the Jacksonville Brit Music Festival, that's the main attraction in Jacksonville. That's what brings in most of our tourism, especially in the summertime. This year was sad because it was closed down due to COVID, which that's the first year they've ever been closed since they've opened. But we have people from all over. We have comedians, singers. I even saw Boy George and Pat Benatar a few years ago. It's a lot of fun, and it's outdoor theater. And so you're out with all the trees and on a summer night listening to good music, and it's just
What time of year is that normally? When is it normally on?
It's through early spring to summertime, and sometimes it can go through fall. So it's kind of more of like a warmer month type of thing.
And you have wineries where you are as well, then?
Yes, we're really popular for Applegate wineries, and there's probably 10 or 15 wineries out in the Applegate.
Great. And is the wine actually any good?
It is, yeah.
It's funny because we've got some wineries where we are, and it's not bad, but it's one of those that you probably wouldn't buy too many bottles when you've got someone round for dinner, but they're nice places to go to. But there's definitely Northern California, and where you are is probably much better than Southern California.
Right, and it's a lot more laid back in Applegate too. There's Red Lily Vineyard, where you're sitting right on the Applegate River. and just enjoying your wine, and it's just a really nice atmosphere. And they also have summer concerts. And so it's just a fun place to bring your friends, and especially people are coming from out of town. It's just a nice area.
Would you say that's the best time to visit then? It would be the summer. It sounds like there's a lot going on during the summer.
Yeah, I think so. I think summer and springtime is probably a really good time to visit.
I noticed that you can go rafting along the river as well.
Yes, that's another thing I love to do is go rafting. You can put in, there's Shady Cove rafting. You can go to Grants Pass and go through the Hellgate Canyon if you want a little bit more of a risky trip. And it's just a really fun to be on the river all day. There's even trips you can go through the Hellgate Canyon, and it's 4 or 5 day long trips, and you camp along the road the whole time. So it's a really cool trip.
That sounds extremely fun. And can you actually go snowboarding and skiing near you as well then?
Yeah, so we actually live about 45 minutes from Mount Ashland. And so we go snowboarding and snow skiing up there a lot during this winter time.
That's awesome. We just came back from Salt Lake City skiing as a family, and we're not far from a place called Big Bear. And I haven't actually managed to go skiing there yet, but it's pretty awesome to have something that's close, even if it isn't like the biggest place in the world to ski. Having something which you can go to is pretty cool.
Right. That's why I love living in Southern Oregon, because you're 45 minutes from to Mount Ashland, and you're 45 minutes from a lake, and then you're 2 hours away from the Oregon coast. So you kind of have the best of all worlds here.
And who lives where you live? In regards to some areas of the US, it's very family orientated. I live in a place called Carlsbad in San Diego, and it's lots of younger families. It's got good schools. And so in regards to where you are, what are the schools like? What's it like if a young family's coming to live, or is it a place that mainly old people live? Tell us about the demographic of the different areas that you cover.
Right. So Southern Oregon, it is known to be more of a retirement community. We do have it's very family orientated as well. There's lots of great schools around here. Jacksonville Elementary School is a great school. They even have out in the Applegate is Rouge Elementary School, and it's an outdoor school. So they do a lot. It's K through 8 out there. So it's more of like a country school, and they do a lot of outdoor projects, and you're learning a lot about just your surrounding area. And there's a lot of good schools around here.
And what if you're young? If you're 18, 19? I remember growing up where I lived in a little place called Salisbury in England. As a teenager, there was absolutely nothing to do. So what about for like teenagers? Is there anything fun to do for teenagers? Apart, it sounds like there's a lot of outdoor activities.
So when I was a teenager, we did a lot of things outdoors. So that was just part of life. We were always at the lakes and the rivers and camping and that type of thing. There's not a lot. I mean, there's the Rogue Valley Mall in Medford, but there's really not a lot of shopping compared to like bigger cities like Portland. And seems like Medford and Jacksonville and Grants Pass, they've all been growing a lot. So there's been a lot more activities added. But there's still, for those younger kids and the younger adults, they probably want to go up to Portland and find a lot more stuff.
It sounds like if you're a real outdoor person, an outdoor family, this seems like the perfect place. If you're looking for something with a lot of hustle and bustle and loads of shopping options, then Portland, for example, would be a better option.
Right.
Okay, great. And what is there to do that someone wouldn't know about? What would be the one thing that you'd say, that no one knows about, that you would say, what could be a fun thing for someone to do?
So again, with the outdoors thing, if there's the Illinois River, and there's a lot of cool swimming holes that a lot of people don't know about that aren't from the area. They're getting a little bit more popular over the last 5 or 10 years. But I think I might have sent you a few pictures, but I'll have to bring it up. But the water is super warm. It's like a beautiful Oregon backdrop. Like, it's just fun to take your families out there and go swimming for the day. So that's one of my favorites.
So if someone wants to find out about them, they can obviously reach out to you and find out where these little secret places are, which is fun.
Right.
And what are your top 3 restaurants?
So in Jacksonville, I love Bella Union. It's a really locally owned pub and bar. Another great one is Mustard Tea Cafe. They're open for breakfast and lunch, and it's a really cool little original Jacksonville restaurant. Another one would be the Jacksonville Inn. It's a historic hotel that's been around for a long time, since Jacksonville, excuse me, was first established. So it's just Jacksonville is a very historic town, and so it's fun to be able to, when you're in town, be able to stay in those historic places, and it's really fun.
Now, obviously, you're a real estate agent, so if anyone is looking to potentially move to your area, they can get in contact with you. But one of the things I want to do every week on this show is just to show everyone what you can get at 2 different price points, because there's a large part of the US where $300,000 gets you a gigantic house with a lot of land, and then $300,000 in places like San Diego, where I am, will get you a shack.
Right.
So, and you'll be lucky to even get that. So we're going to look at 2 properties. I'm just going to share the screen now and just get up a couple of properties now. And we're just going to show a couple of videos. And this one here is a property that is around the 300,000 mark, just over. And so just tell me a little bit about real estate there, and how much it would cost for someone to move there. Maybe if there's more affordable areas, maybe, what type of price have you got to spend if a family of 4 is going to move to the area?
Right. So in Southern Oregon, the most expensive towns would be Jacksonville or Ashland. So in Jacksonville, if you're wanting to spend in that $300,000 mark, it's usually going to be a smaller cottage style home, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, or it's going to be a townhome like this property that's, 1,700 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathroom. It's really a stereotypical townhome. And prices, especially this year, since there's been such a low inventory, have even gotten higher, since Jacksonville is such a small town anyway. There's such a low inventory that prices have really gone up.
It's good to see that for 300,000 you can still get a starter home for a family, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is still a nice area. In Jacksonville, there's really no bad areas that you don't want to be. It's a very cute town and family friendly. So,
right, I'll just move over to the $1 million home now. So, is there, are there lots of multi-million-dollar homes where you are? Are there lots of, do extremely wealthy people look to get second homes here as well? Tell us a little bit about the more affluent market as well.
So in Jacksonville, there's the average price range is between $600,000 to $800,000. So this is on the higher end for Jacksonville. This house was 3,500 square feet. It's 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's a gorgeous house. Everything was custom made. The people that had built the house, they did everything custom. They're actually builders and interior designers, so she did a great job decorating it. It looks very Tuscan. It's a beautiful house. It's right downtown Jacksonville. If you're wanting to have a larger house in downtown Jacksonville, you're probably looking to spend at least $800,000.
Great. Well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for telling us about where you live, and I'm really excited to actually, it'd be great to come and meet you, and actually for you to take me around where you live, because it really does it looks more like England than what San Diego is. It looks more green, and I love the fact you've got so much outdoor things to do. So in regards to your social media, what's the best way of people getting hold of you? And obviously all your contact details will be below as well, but what's the best way of getting hold of you?
Right, so you can find me on my Facebook at Cassidy Olson, real estate broker. You can also find me on Instagram at Sold by Cass. I'm always on my social media, always updating it, so I'm pretty quick to answer.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for coming on. If anyone is interested in moving to Southern Oregon, I highly recommend them getting in contact with you. And you have a great 2021, and hope to catch up with you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.